start it, sir.
So good morning, everybody. How are all of you? Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah,
Morning,
fine.
sir.
Kanishka, how are you, Kanishka? All are fine, huh? Okay.
Good morning, sir.
So, yeah, good morning, Gautam. Okay. Now, I'll just brush up what we did last class, then proceed further. Last class, we did the chapter on fuel supply to SI and CI engine. There we spoke about the importance of the fuel, that is what is a lean mixture, what is a rich mixture, what is air fuel ratio, what is stoichiometric ratio, what is knocking, what is detonation, that is abnormal combustion, and what is the difference between normal combustion and abnormal combustion. All those things we have spoken about. Then we said what is CTN number, what is octane number, how do you define CTN number and how do you define octane number. Then carburetor, what is the function of carburetor. Then different types of carburetors like single jet carburetor, Solex carburetor, Zenith carburetor, SU carburetor, and so on. Different types of carburetors where you have to draw the sketch and give the explanation. That's all. Very simple. And if it has 10 marks, easily in the VT validation, you will get 8 to 9 marks if you write correctly, both the sketch and explanation. Then coming to the next one, we have after the different types of carburetors, we saw what is the next one is the importance of what is the single jet injection and what is the MPFI, multi-port fuel injection system. See, this is a standard question they will ask you. MPFI, what is MPFI? Multi-point fuel injection. Then this is about the SI engine. Then coming to CI engine, what is a fuel pump? So fuel pump is used only in the diesel engine. What is the function of fuel pump? What is a fuel injector? What are the different kinds of fuel injectors? Okay, so that was what we discussed last time. That completes one topic actually. So today, after this, I'll be going to the next topic, that is emission controls. Remember, I have not done one portion of the module, which is I did steering system, but I have not done suspension system, correct? I have not done the suspension system. So I will do the suspension system in the next class. But now I want to do the last module, which is emission controls. Okay. Now, all of you know that emission is most dangerous, isn't it? Because it contains poisonous gases like hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide. These are the gases, isn't it? Sulfur, carbon dioxide, and carbon monoxide. Various poisonous gases are there, and these are all getting into the atmosphere. Because of that, human beings are finding all kinds of respiratory problems. And it is not good for the mankind as well as the animals also, for the mankind itself. So because of that, we have to reduce the pollution. How do we reduce the pollution? So if we reduce the pollution, there is one method, that is to reduce the emissions that is coming out from the automobiles. The emission coming from the automobiles can be carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon, nitrogen. These are the things. But how do we control these emissions? So for that, as all of you know, the government has come up with standards. These standards are called, all of you know, BS, Bharat stage. So BS1, BS2, BS3. Now where are we now? In which stage? BS? Can you tell me? Anybody? BS6. We are in stage BS6. Now, from this March, that is last month, all the vehicles that are coming will be in BS6 mode. Okay, BS6, Bharat stage 6 emission control norms. Now, where is the necessity to bring out so many the emission control norms. Okay. So it first started in Europe, where they said the Euro norms. We are going to do the Euro norms. So they came up with Euro 1, Euro 2, Euro 3, like the different kinds of norms. They came up with the Euro norms. Looking at that, India also took up the emission control norms and named it as Bharat Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 3 goes on. The Bharat Stage 1 started long back. So they identified the crisis to be the poisonous gases which is coming into the atmosphere. So they laid out the norms. Now, what does the norm say? The norm says so much percentage of carbon monoxide should be there, allowed percentage, permitted percentage. Carbon monoxide, so much percent should be there, minimum. That's all, I mean maximum. Then carbon monoxide, sulfur, hydrocarbon, all the obnoxious gases. In the norms, they have defined how much percentage, permissible percentage should be there. So they started like that. Then that was with BS1. Gradually, then what is the difference between BS1, BS2 up to BS6? You find that as the Bharat stage norms increases, that is, as we are coming closer to the higher one, BS4, 5, 6 and all that, we find that the laws are more stringent. The norms are very tight. That means he's telling you, a limited amount of carbon monoxide should be there. Very small amount of N2O, nitrogen oxides and sulfur oxides, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. These should be minimum. So in a BS1, say for example, it is say 0.6% of carbon monoxide should be present. By the time it comes to BS6, the last one, it will say 0.1 or 0.2% of carbon monoxide should be there. So it's very tight. So you have to adapt to the environment and see that you reduce the emission. For that, the state is making norms. I mean, the country is making norms such that you and your automobile along with the automobile, you don't give the exhaust gases into the atmosphere. So it reduces the carbon footprint in the entire country. That is the aim of this. Okay, that is the aim of the emission control. Now, for this, what they do, people have come out with. You can't see my face. Okay. Can you see now?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Can
Yes,
you
sir.
see Gautam? It's okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So people came up with came up with the emission norms, and because of the emission norms, what happened? People are finding it easier. That means no respiratory problems, and the atmosphere is not completely filled up with the polluted gases. Now, the latest one is called BS6, Bharat Stage 6. From March 2020, the Bharat Stage 6 has come into effect. Before that, it was Bharat Stage 4. There is no Stage 5. From 4, it has come directly to 6. Now, this is the use of the Euro norms. That means you can reduce the carbon footprint in the world and reduce the amount of emissions that is coming out, reduce the quantity of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur, and other pollutant gases, hydrocarbons and all that. Now, if you have, all of you would have gone near the city railway station, Majestic, if you go there, in front of the city railway station, they have put an electronic board. I don't know whether I have it now or not, but some months back it was there. There, they will give a electronic board will be there, which tells you today's temperature, and then it tells you what is Right. Some internet problem. You can hear me now? Can you hear me? Nikhil, can
Yes,
you
sir.
hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, uh, they're going to ask you a question. What is the use of making emission norms? Then you have to write a detail, like a essay type, that what is Euro 1, Euro 2, Euro 3, then similarly BS1, BS2, BS6, and all that. All these things will give you how we are regulating the amount of emission. All of us are talking about green energy, clean energy, ozone depletion, climate change, isn't it? We're all talking about that. So what is all these things? It's all because of the pollution only. You might have observed during this corona period, there are many videos coming up, you also would have seen. It is telling that the air is absolutely free from pollution. There are certain, they are sending so many videos you might have seen. You also might have received. All the animals and birds are coming onto the road. They're all feeling free. The air is very free. There is no carbon dioxide. There are no vehicles moving around. All these things has led to reducing the amount of carbon generated into the atmosphere, isn't it? So during this 1 month, already today 31 days, 1 month is over of lockdown, 9 more days to go. We observe that there is absolutely no pollution. The air is very pure. So because of this, people have always thought of reducing the emission. Also, you would have, if those are having a two-wheeler, a vehicle, whatever it is, or a car, you know that emission check was needed. So you have to go to the petrol bunk, they will have an emission check meter. They will say, okay, permissible amount of emission is so much. Then they will, if it is okay, they will check in the exhaust, how much exhaust is polluted. Then they'll put a sticker, emission checked and found correct. If it is within the range, permissible range, they will put a sticker, emission check done, or they'll give a certificate saying that emission is done, isn't it? But now those days are gone because people are already aware that it is most required. They know that emission is most required. So they themselves have decided to go for stricter norms. And how to go for stricter norms? Go for BS6. Once you go for BS6, the norms are strict, very strict. So from there, what you can do directly, when you buy the automobile with BS6, it will have all the features such that the emission does not cross the permissible limit. So they will manufacture the automobile in such a way that the exhaust is not a problem. Okay, that is the way they manufacture nowadays. So BS6 is the latest one, hardly 1 month old, and we have to wait for the next BS. Okay, so this is very good, and we have to see that all the emissions are controlled. Okay, so they will ask you what is the effect of emission. Like an essay, you will have to write all these things. Okay, so I think that's a very simple thing and general. And we are also talking about clean energy, green energy. We are saying that if electrical vehicle comes, there is no pollution, no traffic jam, no pollution, no exhaust gas, and go in metro. Okay, if you go in metro, what is the advantage if you go in metro? That you can save on the fuel, number one. Second thing, you can also save on the there is no pollution because the whole thing is AC. So and it's not giving out any exhaust gas because it runs on battery. All these advantages have made the public transport easier. Okay, so this is what I want to tell about the introduction of this emission. I think this, like essay, you can write a lot of things. That is not a problem. Okay, coming to our chapter on emission, one portion is we are talking about the emission norms. Okay, now I also have some material where I have what is the amount of hydrocarbon permissible in BS1, BS2, BS3, all these things that also I have. I have it in college. Maybe when I go there, I can share it with you so that you people can write good short notes or essay on this topic. Okay. And coming to chapter, this I think Dhanush today has sent the remaining chapters in the group. Only chapter 6 was there. Now he has sent chapter 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9 he has sent here. So I'm going to the emission. Yarwan. I'm going to the chapter 9. So please go to chapter number 9, which is page number. Sorry. Chapter number 9. Please come to chapter number 9. In the chapter number 9, we'll be talking about the emission control methods. Okay. I'm just coming to the page number. Yeah, if you come to chapter number 9, page can you tell me the page number? Yeah, page number 105. Yeah, come to chapter number 9, page 106. Yeah, if you come there, see what you observe here. See in page number 106, see the chapter 9, automotive emission control system. That means what he wants here, he is suggesting what are the various methods of reducing the emission from the automobile. Okay, how can you reduce the emission in the automobile? These are the methods. So you find that the emission in automotives can be reduced by the following things. Page number 106, chapter number 9. Okay. Now he is telling three things. The emission of pollutants in automotives can be reduced by, first one, closed crank case ventilation. Second one, fuel tank and carburetor ventilation. Third one, redesigning the engine, especially combustion chamber, cooling, fuel supply, and ignition system. Okay, these are the various methods of reducing combustion. So if you adapt these things in your emission system, you're going to avoid the emission as much as possible. So coming to closed crankcase ventilation, the first type is called positive crankcase ventilation system. Positive crankcase ventilation system, also called as PCV. This is a very important question. Always they will ask this question. Okay, PCV, VTU always ask this question. Positive crankcase ventilation system. Now, how does it work? See, when the engine is running, some unburned fuel and combustion products leak past the piston and move into the crankcase. This leakage is called blow-by. This must be removed because if it condenses with the oil, it will form a sludge. Therefore, they will use this PCV method. The increase in combustion temperature results in a better combustion. So what they do in this case, because of this, they have a method. One second. Yeah, the methods of controlling combustion. So they have a thermostatic air cleaner. A thermostatic air cleaner. Now, what is a thermostatic air cleaner? They have what is called a diaphragm, and they will allow the air to flow inside, and they will have a diaphragm in between, and the temperature sensor spring will be there. Because of that, what happens from the crankcase, whatever exhaust is coming will all be reduced because they got a spring and they also have a diaphragm. So when you let out that from the diaphragm, it gets cleared off and goes into the exhaust system. So this is called the what you call thermostatic air cleaner. Then the second one, which all of you, all mechanical engineers are familiar, is what? EGR, isn't it? All of you know exhaust gas recirculation. So all of you are aware of this. Now, what happens? The higher combustion temperature results in the formation of more nitrogen oxide. The exhaust gas EGR system is used to lower the combustion temperature, okay, and hence to reduce NOx emission in the exhaust gas. So what is this EGR, exhaust gas recirculation? Now this question they will ask definitely. What is EGR and what is PCV, positive crankcase ventilation? Now what is EGR? A small metered quantity, 6 to 13% of inert exhaust gas is sent back to the intake manifold to reduce the combustion temperature, okay, and formation of NOx. The exhaust gas is relatively at lower temperature and absorbs heat from the much hotter combustion process, thereby reduces the peak combustion temperature and hence the formation of NOx. Now, the figure of the EGR is given here. This is which one? Figure 9.6, page 108. You about the EGR, that is exhaust gas recirculation system, figure 9.6. Just open that, you can see you have the intake manifold. The air is coming through the throttle valve. It goes into the intake manifold. From there on the right hand side, see what do you have there? Exhaust gas is coming from one side. Exhaust gas which is coming from the outlet, it goes into the EGR valve. In the EGR system, there is a diaphragm and there is a EGR valve. So the exhaust gas which goes inside crosses the diaphragm, goes to the EGR valve and then comes out from the intake manifold. Okay, comes out from the intake manifold. At the same time, air is coming in from the throttle valve. So what happens? The heat of the exhaust gases is supplied to the intake air, thereby reducing the combustion temperature and reducing also the amount of NOx. This is the functioning of the exhaust gas. Then they say, hey, how do you treat the exhaust gas? Treating the exhaust gas also, different systems are there. So we have the air aspirator system, and we have the air injection system, and we have catalytic converter. These are the three types of treating the exhaust gas systems that we have. Okay, so EGR, what is exhaust gas recirculation? How do you treat the exhaust gases? You have air injection method and air aspirator method, and you also have one more which is called the catalytic converter. Okay, now the figure of the catalytic converter, I have it in the college, and just see if I can get, even if you Google it, you will get the figure. Okay, so I'll just repeat once again what we spoke about. Automotive emission control systems. What are the things? Closed crank ventilation. Under that, you have positive crankcase ventilation, which is called the PCV system. And in the PCV system, how you are going to remove the exhaust gas, I told you. Then you have controlling the combustion process. How do you do? That is EGR, exhaust gas recirculation. Very, very important question. You have to draw this diagram of the EGR. Heat of the exhaust gas is taken by the intake air and reduce the combustion temperature. Thereby, you are going to reduce the amount of NOx, that is the pollution gases. And how do you treat the exhaust gas? You have two methods: air injection method and air aspirator method. And you also have a catalytic converter. So they are going to ask questions on how do you treat the exhaust gas. You can write catalytic converter, air injection method, or air aspiration system. So in the air injection system, I will just explain. The fresh air is blown into the exhaust gas after they exit the combustion chamber. This provides additional oxygen to burn the hydrocarbon and the carbon monoxide coming out of the cylinder and converts them into water and CO2 and reduces the amount of pollution. So here, if you see the figure here, you have the exhaust manifold. From there to the electronic control module, ECM, electronic control module. It will come to the catalytic converter and then go out, and you are injecting the air here from the air pump, and that will reduce the amount of NOx, and you will get only carbon dioxide and water. This is called air injection system. You are injecting the air. Whereas in the air aspirator system, now in place of air pump, you can use an air aspirator. Aspirator is nothing but a one-way check valve. The opening and closing of the exhaust valve causes variation in the exhaust manifold pressure. When the pressure becomes below atmospheric, fresh air admits through the air aspirator valve to the nozzles in the exhaust manifold. So when that happens, the pressure increases above atmospheric and all the exhaust gas comes out. The third one is catalytic converter. And I'll just check, and if it's there, I'll share a figure of catalytic converter because it's a very, very important question. It's a very important question. They are going to ask, explain catalytic converter, very common question. In the college, I have the figure. Once I get back to college, I can send it to you, or Google also you can try. And catalytic converter, how it works is, it is made up of a bed where a lot of rock-like structures will be there. So from one side, they will allow the pollutant gases. From the other side, all the pollutant gases will be removed and you will get free exhaust gas. That is without pollution. Okay. So it's like a bed-like structure where full of stones, something like that, similar to that. And I will just share you later how to about this catalytic converter, how it works. Then emission standards, as I told you, we spoke about. Yeah, if you come to page number, I think how much? 109. I told you in India, 2000. Okay, 2000 they started. Bharat stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 reference. They took the reference from Euro 1, Euro 2, Euro 3 region. You can see Delhi, Bombay, and all that. Then emission standard for diesel truck and bus engines. Can you see? You can see here. Carbon monoxide. What is the percentage? 2.1. Euro 3 in 2010 is only 2.1 carbon monoxide, 0.66 hydrocarbon, 5% of NOx is allowed. So like that, it went on, and you can see the emission standards for light duty vehicles and all that. They have mentioned how much CO should be there, carbon monoxide, how much hydrocarbon, how much NOx, how much particulate matter should be there. So you can see here a table of statistics where everything is given. And if you have short notes on Euro norms, you'll have to mention and write about all these things and the history of the norms. Bharat stage 1, how in 2000 it started. They took the reference of the Euro norms and then how they did all this, what you call the BS1 to BS6, how they did all that. So like an essay, you have to write that. One full question will be there on this on 10 marks. Okay. So any doubts in this? This completes the emission topic on emissions. Any doubts, please? Any doubts? Dhanush, Rasik, Rishabh?
No, sir, no doubt, sir.
Yeah, it's a very easy chapter, just theory, just have to write like an essay, that's all. And the data and statistics provided in the table, if you can duplicate it, it will be very good, because that's exactly what they're going to ask. How much carbon is allowed, how much hydrocarbon, how much NOx is allowed, BS1 allows how much, BS3 allows how much, like that you can write the permissible amount of pollutants available, allowed nowadays. So with that, you have to write a essay like say about a page of that. Okay, that is about the Euro norms. Then about the Euro, that is how do you stop what do you use to stop the emission? So you have a crankcase ventilation. Under that you have PCV, positive crankcase ventilation. Then after that you have the EGR, exhaust gas recirculation. Very, very important. You need to draw the figure of EGR. One full question will be there. You need to draw the sketch of the EGR, explain the process of EGR, exhaust gas recirculation. Then after that, they will ask you air aspirator and air injection method, and the catalytic converter. Catalytic converter, very important, how it works. There is all these three things: air aspirator, air injection, and aspirator, and EGR are methods of treating the exhaust gases. Then catalytic converter also. Then after that, finally you have the Euro norms and the BS norms up to BS6, which state that how much of HC, CO, and NOx are permissible. And as the years go by, the norms, the amount of permissible HC and all that will become more stringent, and we have to abide by the rules of the government in order to save our earth and also help the mankind in reducing the pollution. Any doubts in this? We'll just this is all we have in the chapter on emissions. So you know, this is the place where you can grab. Yeah, this is the place where you can grab the marks. Very easy. Just general knowledge. You just have to write, and you can also introduce some words like green energy, clean energy, how we are reducing the pollution. We can talk about global change, reducing the atmosphere, ozone depletion, carbon footprint. These are the common buzzwords that you have in the pollution chapter. And with this, we will come to the end of the chapter on pollution and how to reduce emission standards and how to reduce the pollution.